Hey guys, Mr. C, Silverfox, coming to you from Vegas. Here with my partner Naveed, my buddy, non-sexual partner. You have to always define that now. One of the other coaches on a boot camp that we were working on for the last 5 days. Want to talk to you about something that is absolutely vital for you to develop, to nurture in your own masculine life, which is how to deal with conflict resolution when you're kind of with your mates and something comes up. You set a boundary, how to do it properly in a way that keeps your relationship strong and keeps you on the narrow path.
Yeah, so we're here at the Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas. We've got some of the best dating coaches in the world. And we're actually all virgins.
We're out of the closet now.
Hence why in the Virgin Hotel.
Yes, look at all these virgins in this lovely hotel.
Yeah, and we had this, conflict.
So we just met like 5 days ago because
Yeah.
we're working with the same crew. A cool guy, mutual friends, but never actually met each other.
Yeah.
And then obviously a really cool guy. And Gary, I cut you off. Videos officially suck when you're sitting in front of a pool that you want to be swimming in. So we ran into a bit of a snag. He'd met a few girls, 3 girls, and brought them back to the Airbnb that all the coaches were sharing. And in the morning, we talked about it before, and I was like, dude, don't bring them back here. You can bring your girl back, but don't bring the other ones because they're going to be unsupervised. I didn't say it, but it wouldn't be good. So anyway, he brought them back because they were really hot, and that's all cool. And then it ended up that there was some time where these 2 girls were just sleeping over on the couch, and he was focused on his girl. And in the morning, in front of a couple other guys, I called him on it, and I was like, dude, that wasn't cool because all our stuff could have got robbed or blah, blah, blah. The girls were unsupervised. And I didn't do it properly the way that I didn't do it ideally properly. I had a great point, but I didn't communicate it properly. Number one, because I did it in front of other people. Would have been so much better had I just pulled him aside one-on-one. Number two, I wasn't vulnerable with him. I was kind of, with Naveed, I was coming from a position of like, this is logically the better thing to do. And I was right, but I wasn't being vulnerable, and I was being preachy, let's say. And so you responded a little bit like, thanks for your opinion, da-da-da-da-da. You didn't say fuck off, but thanks for your opinion, but please go fuck yourself. In a British accent. But please go fuck yourself. And remember some water. So it created tension between the two of us for about an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I had to say something, but whatever. And then Naveed came to me, super, super masculine approach, big balls, and was like, dude, you know what? I take total personal responsibility. You had good point in that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, hey man, thanks for saying that. You're a great guy. And then I think you called me on it. You know, it would have been a little bit better had you not said it in front of my mates. And then right away I was like, holy fuck, I didn't think of that. 100% correct. And we both took our personal responsibility. And because of that, immediately my view of you, and probably your view of me, immediately went up. Because you're like, wow, this really masculine dude is a good guy. And so it was really important for me to say something and set the boundary. It would have been better if I did it in private, one-on-one. But it was actually a good thing that I said that to you, because it helped you grow as a man, and it also helped me stay within my own boundaries. And then we had the opportunity to both get some humility, come back together, apologize, whatever, right?
Oh yeah, so this is something I always tell my clients, is that whenever someone crosses your boundary, whether it's a guy you know or it's a girl, you want to let them know that they've crossed your boundary, because that's how you have good relationships with people.
Huge. And that's how you prevent becoming bitter and resentful at people for taking advantage of you or using you or whatever, because you didn't say anything.
Yeah, totally. It's always like those guys where they don't say anything first, and then now they got this tension inside them and they don't want to, hang around with that guy anymore. Whereas if you just said it right then and there, just like what you did, that's when you're going to get that good relationship, which we have now. Right?
Totally. And that is, if you think about it I always think of everything through the lens of masculine and feminine approach to life or energy. And you look at that and you go, okay, imagine that same scenario through a feminine mindset and a masculine mindset. Feminine mindset, you're going to blame the other person for being who they are. So if feminine mindset, I wouldn't say anything to you because I don't want confrontation. I would resent you for not doing the right thing that I think you should have done.
Yeah.
And then I would just not spend time around you, and I would tell other people how much of a dick you are because of this thing that you did. Yeah. That's a feminine mindset, avoiding confrontation and then just externalizing blame.
Yeah.
That's why we say personal responsibility is so foundational if you want to be a masculine man. Because as a masculine man, you have to do the opposite. You have to be like, oh shit, this person crossed a boundary. I have to say something. It's going to help him grow as a man. Again, ideally try and say it in a better way. And then, because that's super important too. But then I call you on something, and it could be anything. It could be like, dude, when you're with that girl, I'm watching how you're doing things. I'm not trying to give him advice. I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm trying to actually look at him and go, this is going to help you grow as a man, and it's going to be better for you, right?
Yeah, totally. So what we wanted you to take away from this video was not only how to, confront a guy when he does something that maybe has crossed boundaries, is when you do it with a girl, it actually increases attraction.
Huge.
Just like, after the conversation we had, and I went to Clint and said, listen, it was my mistake, because it was my mistake. But at the moment, I was like, oh, actually, I've got the right to do this. But then I thought about it, and I went, no, Clint, you were totally right. You came across as the big brother to me. You're trying to help me. And that's what a lot of guys I've noticed they struggle with. It's like they have this ego, and they know they're in the wrong, but they just want to kind of defend their ground and be like, oh, no, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bro, just take that advice.
Totally.
Because
it's so much stronger of a position when you can admit that you're wrong. Like that is as well super
the way
fucking
I see
masculine.
It's not if I win the argument, I'm a big man, with the big balls. It's about me improving 1%, right? If Clint can help me improve 1%, now I'm a more attractive man. Now I can attract more girls into my life, right? This is the way you should see it.
Totally,
now I can
because
attract
you're
more
that
money into my life.
Because you're that 1% more masculine.
Exactly.
And the same way that you handle the situation with me, is the same way you're gonna, or me, it's the same way I ideally want to handle situations with clients.
Yeah.
I got a problem with a client or a contractor or whatever, right? Okay, that's how you handle it. You go to them in a masculine mindset and handle the problem in a masculine way and admit your own personal responsibility. I'm gonna keep this super short, but I have this one story. I was doing I had a construction company, and it was my first a first really big commercial excavation job. And I fucked up something on the job because I was new at it, right? And I tried to do everything perfect and everything, but I fucked up one thing, and it turned out being a really important thing. And where we were disposing of the material that we were digging up. And I didn't realize that I was breaking a law by taking it to this particular dump site. They didn't have a permit. And so that all came to light. I got called on it because the city came there and the permits and the environmental people and everything. And I looked like a complete fucking idiot because I should have known that. And my client came to me. They're a really big construction company. We were building a Target store. And Target went to them, and then they came to me, and they were like, you've broken our contract with you. We reserve the right to cancel our contract with you. I was on a phone call with my boss, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he goes, are you still there? Because I wasn't saying anything. And I said, yeah, it sounded to me like you said you're canceling your contract with me. And I was like holding my breath. And he goes, no, I said, you've kind of committed a cardinal sin here. Now I'm reserving the right to do that. So basically you're on notice. You do anything wrong, we can snip you in a second, right? But at this moment, we will allow you to continue working with us. And so I immediately said to him, you're totally right. I was in the wrong. I didn't mean to do this thing. I wasn't trying to make extra money or whatever, but I dropped the ball. I will do anything required in order to rectify the situation. I apologize that I made you look bad in front of the client, and I apologize for the headaches. Let me know anything I can do. Then he called me back, a day later, and we had to go there and clean it all up, and it was like fucking $30,000-$40,000.
Oh shit.
But we did great on the project, so it all worked out. But my point was, had I responded defensively, had I said like, well, I shouldn't have done it, I would have been fired immediately. I was this small dog, right? But because I took personal responsibility, I immediately had respect from him, and then we could just rectify the situation. And the same with you or me. When you came to me with taking personal responsibility, you're like, dude, yeah, you know what? I didn't do that properly. You got a point there. Immediately in my eyes, you're a super cool guy. You're masculine. I want to be around you. I want to be friends. I trust you more because I know that like if something comes up, I can talk to you about it. And I trust your opinion because you're masculine in my eyes. So then when you said you should have come to me in private, would have been a bit better. Immediately I was like, oh fuck yeah, he's got a point. And I took personal responsibility. And because of that, our relationship grew stronger.
Totally.
And I started flirting with him every day.
Exactly.
Oh, did I say that?
And a little bit more.
and he started making me feeling very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to say here is, whenever these situations come up, don't panic. Don't be like, oh, this is uncomfortable situations. Actually embrace it, because you have to see where the person's coming from. Like Clint, he was coming from a place that he wanted to make me better. He wasn't coming from a place.
I just wanted to protect my laptop.
Exactly. He wanted to protect his laptop. So he wanted to improve me as a person, because that's what dating coaches do, right? Naturally. But at the time I was like, I've got to hold my ground, because, well, firstly I was on 2 hours of sleep, and also I was like, I thought what I did was correct. And as a masculine man, that's what you should do. You should hold your ground whenever you feel like you're in the right place. Don't give in just because,
because you're afraid.
Because you're afraid, or someone has someone's coming from a strong frame. This is what frame battles are, right? You've got to hold your frame.
Contest.
Exactly. But at the same time, if you realize you've made a mistake, which what I did after, again, because I was on 2 hours of sleep, I wasn't thinking straight. And then I went to Clint, I said, man, you're totally right. What you said was 100% on point, and I made a mistake. Should we talk about that? Like the different strategies between how to do it with guys and girls?
Yeah, let's do a separate video on how to apply it to girls.
Yeah, we'll do a separate video.
We'll wrap it up on how to do it with guys. But basically the main points, when somebody crosses a boundary of yours, your mate, you have to, or you see him doing something unhealthy in his life, you have to approach him and say, pull him aside alone, not in front of other friends.
Yeah, alone.
And then do it vulnerably. Do it like, hey dude, I got interest in mind for you and whatever. Not trying to be a dick, whatever. Don't go just from a position of like, I'm right.
Yeah,
exactly. Because that's not good. That's
and do it in a way that you're trying to improve the person.
And then secondly, yes. And then secondly, when you realize, yesterday when you said that thing to me, I responded defensively. I totally thought I was right. But now I realize, actually you had a point. When you go to him, don't be afraid of that vulnerability. Because when you came to me, my view of him as a man doubled. I was like, here's a fucking dude. Here's a cool guy. And my trust in you doubled. Because I was like, I know we can sort shit out.
Yeah,
and he's
totally.
not a little snowflake where I have to walk on eggshells, and if I say the wrong thing, he's never going to want to hang out.
Yeah, and exactly the same situation happened. It's that when these conflicts arise, it's funny because in the moment it's kind of like uncomfortable, whatever, there's tension. But after, you actually like the person more. And this is the reason 100%. Why women become so attracted after it.
Cool, and our next video is going to be on
that. Check out that on OnlyFans. We have OnlyFans channel, so...
Take care, guys.